Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Majora's Masks project making video. This video is now my 5th video, which means we are up to my 5th mask for the project. Thanks to a lot of you guys making comments below my short form content on TikTok and YouTube and my long form videos, I have gotten a bunch of suggestions on what to do for the next mask. So thanks to you guys, my 5th mask is the stone mask. Now the stone mask is a mask that you acquire in Majora's Mask from a fallen soldier on your way to Ikana Canyon. You can acquire it earlier on in the game if you help him by giving him a potion, or you can get it on your way to Ikana Canyon when you go that way towards the end of the game after you finish the other dungeons. Now, I chose a mask thanks to your suggestions, but also I chose a mask that was a little bit easier to sort of work on because during the time I am making this mask, this video is actually recorded a little bit later, I underwent some surgery. Now it was a very minor surgery. I'm okay. I am recovering, but it was only a few days ago and it was very hard for me to get up and walk around and work on the masks and things. So if there is a delay with scheduling or posting anything about the masks, that's why. Now I also chose something a little bit easier because I wanted something that I could throw some foam clay on or throw some paper mache on and just like kind of wait for it to dry, have a lot of waiting time so I could get better myself. In terms of the process for this mask, like I said, I've already started it and I am liking how it's coming along so far. I basically took my Amazon cardboard mask base, cut out features such as the nose and other prominent features, cover them with masking tape, got some foil to shape the base of the mask, and then foam clay over the top of that. Another thing that I decided to do was, thanks to an idea from another creator which I saw on TikTok, she made her own paper mache like grout, like it was a weird sort of texture, and she made it out of corn flour, water, toilet paper and glue. And she made her own paper mache that way. I don't know the name of this creator. If I do find the video or the set of videos or her account, I will link it below or have it here. Basically, she used this method to make an armadillo costume for her daughter. And I think it turned out really cool and I liked the idea of the rough texture for the stone mask. So I adapted that. I do want to say thank you so much for the idea. And I have now gotten to the point where I've put that on the mask and I'm waiting for it to dry. I still have to possibly sand it down, paint it, and then add any more details that I want, but the stone mask is now almost finished. I'm sorry that I'm recording this afterwards, but that's kind of just the way that recording had to be, especially with the surgery involved. I will play this out like a normal how I made the mask video, so without further ado, I will let you guys get to the mask making. As I said in the intro, I started off with the cardboard base that I got from Amazon, and the first thing that I wanted to do was remove the nose. The stone mask is more flat, so a nose definitely isn't needed. Also, I caught Suki taking the nose when I was done. The next thing that I wanted to do was grab some masking tape and seal up the eyes and the nose holes, both inside and out, so we had more of a flat surface to layer on the foam clay when needed. I then grabbed some foil and started to mold together a lump for the head, which I attached to the top left side, and 2 long thin strands which I then attached around the mouth for the wide smile of the stone mask. I attached this with some hot glue and then covered it with tape afterwards. The tape was a little bit of support for the hot glue because for some reason it wouldn't stick properly. This time around, I think the hot glue was probably drying or cooling down a lot quicker. And the masking tape also helped to flatten the distance between the foil lump and the mask. So when it came to putting the foam clay on top of the mask, it would dry more as a flat surface rather than have some ridges and bumps that would possibly cave in. I think I went a little bit overboard with the masking tape, but I think it helped when I put the foam clay on. I'm just going to believe that it did. So this is what it basically looked like covered in masking tape. And you guessed it, the next part that we need to do is grab foam clay. This has become my favorite tool to use for the mask so far. Every time I use the foam clay, it turns out almost exactly how I want it or how I picture it. It's also super easy to use with the addition of water to smooth things down, or heat like a hot day or hot wind to speed up the drying process further. It's also a really cheap tool to get your hands on. I usually get my foam clay from Amazon. I know a few people have been asking about that. I can also put a link in the description of this video if needed. And it's also just kind of therapeutic to use. Once I was finished covering the mask in foam clay, I took it outside because it was actually a nice sunny day and I was relying on the sun to dry it quicker. I carefully placed it on the wig head and put it next to some dead pot plants, and later that day, almost most of the foam clay was done. The foam clay wasn't the finish that I wanted, so I started to grab the paper mache materials so it would be more rough and have more of a stone texture rather than a smooth foam clay texture. Like I mentioned at the start, the paper mache consisted of corn flour, water, toilet paper, and glue. The consistency reminded me of cottage cheese, which is why I knew that I was somewhat doing it right. And once the whole mask was covered, I let it dry overnight and then put it outside to dry in the sun the next morning. Once it was completely dry that day, I grabbed the satin silver squirts paint that I got from Bunnings previously and spray painted it using my box. I was in two minds about the silver because I felt like it was too silver for a stone mask, but I kind of liked how it looked for the base. Once the silver was dry, I took it inside, mixed up about 4 shades of grey and just started splotching it with a paintbrush around the mask, attempting to blend in some places but also leave it messy in others because I didn't really want it to be too perfect. And this is what it turned out to look like. Once the paint was dry, the last thing that I wanted to do was attach the elastic to the back of it, making the mask wearable. This one could have been see-through if I cut out the eyes and put some mesh behind it like I did with the Keaton mask, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted it to be more accurate to one of the designs. If you guys have played Majora's Mask or seen, there are like 3 variants of the stone mask, so I just went for the more triangular kind of shaped one. And that is the stone mask done. Please let me know if you like how it turned out. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow the project, and let me know in the comments which mask you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.